It's 2025, and maybe things feel tight. Like expenses are just constantly creeping up.
Yeah, the bank account just isn't keeping pace. It's a familiar feeling for a lot of folks.
Definitely. That feeling of being broke or just really squeezed, it's tough. But what if saving money, like fast, even when you feel that way, isn't totally out of reach?
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at this guide, right? It's got 10 tips for saving quickly in 2025.
Yeah.
And the idea is that feeling broke can be, well, paralyzing. But these tips, they're concrete things you can actually do.
Right. Actionable steps. We're not going to hit you with like super complex financial strategies or tell you to change everything overnight.
Don't bother.
The whole point of this deep dive is to pull out the really useful nuggets from the guide, stuff you can start doing, well, maybe even today.
Exactly. Small changes that maybe surprisingly start adding up pretty quickly. Getting that immediate impact is huge for motivation, you know?
Totally. So where should we start? What's one of those sneaky drains on our cash?
Okay, let's talk subscriptions. This is tip number 10 in the guide. The unnecessary ones.
Ah, yes. The silent killers of the budget.
Kind of. It's so easy to sign up for something, a streaming service, maybe an app trial that rolls over.
Oh, yeah, the free trials.
Or that gym membership from January that's just sitting there.
And individually, they seem small, right? $10, $15.
Exactly. But the guide points out how they stack up. Canceling just one or two might free up $10, $20, maybe even more every single month.
Wow, yeah.
And over a year, that's real money that was just vanishing.
So the first step is just awareness.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The guide says basically look at your bank statement. Like really look at it.
Okay, scroll through, see what's recurring.
Right. Or use one of those apps that tracks subscriptions for you. It's a quick win, gives you a bit of control back right away.
I like that. Quick wins are good. Okay, so that's cutting back. What about actually making some quick cash?
Right. So tip number 6 is about selling unused items.
Turning clutter into cash. I love this one.
It's a double whammy, really. Less clutter, more money.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, the guide mentions things most people have lying around. Clothes you don't wear, old phones or electronics in a drawer.
Books. Kitchen gadget.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff you bought thinking you'd use it, but didn't.
And selling it can be pretty fast, right? Faster than waiting for savings to build up slowly.
For sure. It gives you that quicker financial boost. And the guide mentions how easy it is now with platforms like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, local online groups.
Makes sense. It connects you with buyers easily.
And it reinforces that idea.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps when you're feeling pinched. That old tablet might be 50 quid you didn't have yesterday.
Good point. Minimal effort, potentially quick return. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
How about making saving less of a conscious effort?
Ah, yes. Automation. Tip number 5.
The set it and forget it approach.
Kind of, yeah. The guide explains setting up automatic transfers. Right after you get paid, a little bit goes from your checking to your savings. And the psychology is interesting. The money moves before you really see it, so you're less tempted to spend it.
Right, because if you're feeling broke, actively moving money to savings can feel painful.
Exactly. But automation makes it sort of inevitable. And the guide stresses, even if it's just $5 or $10 a week, automate it.
It builds the habit without constant willpower.
Precisely. It becomes passive accumulation instead of active restriction. Most banks offer this, or there are apps too. Super accessible.
Cool. Okay, so we've automated some saving. What about the money we do spend? How we spend it?
Good transition. Tip number 8, mindful spending, specifically looking at cash versus cards.
Oh, this is interesting. Does it really make a difference?
The guide argues it does. There's something, well, more real about handing over physical cash. Swiping a card is abstract. The money just disappears electronically. But cash, you physically see your wallet getting thinner.
There's that pain of paying idea.
Exactly. You feel the loss more. And cash gives you a hard limit.
So the practical tip is?
Withdraw a set amount of cash for the week, maybe, and leave the cards at home.
Wow, okay.
Once the cash is gone, it's gone. It forces you to be more aware, cuts down on those impulse buys.
That makes sense. Speaking of where money goes, food. Tip number 7 tackles food costs.
Oh yeah, this is a big one for most budgets.
Eating out versus cooking at home.
Absolutely. The guide highlights the huge cost difference. Even simple home-cooked meals are way cheaper per portion than takeout or restaurants.
So how do you start if you're not much of a cook?
Baby steps. The guide suggests basic meal planning, maybe just a few meals a week to start.
Make a grocery list based on that.
Yes, and stick to it. Focus on versatile ingredients. And honestly, there are tons of simple recipes online.
And the classic advice?
Don't shop hungry.
Right, always.
The potential savings here are significant. The guide mentions potentially hundreds of dollars a month just by cooking more at home.
Hundreds. Okay, that's definitely worth thinking about. Now, let's shift slightly. Not just cutting back, but spending smarter. Tip 3.
Right. This is about using discounts, coupons, cash back. Becoming a savvy shopper.
So it's not just spending less, it's getting more value.
Exactly. On things you were going to buy anyway. Think store loyalty programs, coupon apps, cashback sites, maybe even credit card rewards.
But with credit cards, you have to be careful, right? Pay it off.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Pay the balance in full, otherwise interest eats up any savings. That's a key warning.
And the other warning the guide mentions.
Don't buy stuff you don't need just because it's on sale. That defeats the whole purpose. Needs versus wants.
Got it. Focus on necessary purchases, but look for deals on them.
And those little savings, consistently applied, do add up.
Okay, but to do any of this effectively cutting back, spending smarter, you need to know where the money's going first.
Precisely. Which brings us to tip number 2, tracking your spending.
The foundation, really. Might seem boring, but essential.
Yeah, totally essential. The guide says most people are genuinely surprised when they see where the little bits go.
Like the daily coffee, the odd snack.
Those things you don't even think about. They accumulate like crazy.
So how do you track? Old school notebook. App.
Either works. Notebook, spreadsheet, budgeting app, whatever makes it clear, black and white, where every dollar is going.
The guide had an example, like realizing you spend $50 a month on
takeout coffee. Yeah. Once you see that number, it's easier to decide if it's worth cutting back there.
It finds the leaks.
Exactly. So you can make informed choices, not just guess where you're overspending.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about motivation. Having something to aim for.
Yes. Tip number 9. Goal-oriented saving.
So not just saving vaguely, but saving for something specific.
Right. Having a clear target, like $500 for an emergency fund in 3 months, makes it much more tangible.
And motivating.
Definitely. You can track your progress towards that specific goal. The guide suggests starting small, maybe just $10 a week towards that goal, but seeing the balance grow is really positive reinforcement.
Builds momentum. Okay, we've covered a lot on managing current money, but what about getting more money in?
That's the big one. Tip number 1, increasing your income.
The ultimate savings accelerator.
Pretty much. Because let's face it, there's often a limit to how much you can cut back, especially if you're already feeling really broke.
Right.
Bringing in more income, even a little bit, can make a huge difference to your ability to save.
What kind of things does the guide suggest? Side hustles.
Yeah, a whole range. Freelancing if you have skills, gig work like driving or delivery, selling handmade crafts online.
Or even simpler stuff, like local odd jobs.
Sure, dog walking, yard work, babysitting. The internet makes finding these easier too, often with low startup costs.
And even a small side income directed to savings.
It had a really big impact, surprisingly quickly.
Okay, one last tip that kind of loops back to spending habits. Tip number 4.
Right, avoiding impulse buys. The power of the pause.
We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
See something, want it, buy it.
And often regret it later. The guide calls these unplanned, spur-of-the-moment purchases a major savings obstacle.
So how do you fight the impulse?
The guide suggests the 24 to 48-hour rule. If it's not essential, wait a day or two before buying it.
Give yourself time to cool off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Often the urge just fades. It also mentions sticking to shopping lists. We talked about that with groceries.
Yeah.
And being wary of just browsing online or wandering around shops aimlessly. Those environments are designed to tempt you.
Good point. Be intentional.
By pausing and being more deliberate, you stop those unplanned drains on your money.
So, wrapping this all up, saving fast when you feel broke isn't about some magic bullet, is it?
Not at all. It's really about a mix of small, smart changes. Cutting hidden costs like subscriptions, maybe making quick cash from unused stuff.
Automating savings, even small amounts. Being mindful with spending cash can help there. Cooking more.
Looking for discounts on things you actually need, tracking where it all goes, setting clear goals.
And crucially, maybe finding ways to boost your income even slightly.
Yeah. The key takeaway from the guide seems to be, start small, be strategic, and be consistent. That's how you build the habit.
Right. It's a journey. So maybe the question for you listening is, which one of these, feels like the easiest first step, the most doable today.
What's your starting point?
Yeah.
And maybe what's one thing lying around your place right now that could be your first step to turning clutter into cash?
Food for thought. Remember, every little step counts.